Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that data type, right? So now in this video, I want to discuss about that object. So what exactly mean this object? I show you with the live example, then that will be very clear. Like I remove it, okay? I just simply take out the late, I want to take some of the variable with the late name. I make another variable as age, that is our number type. I hope you already know about it, and I just put it as a 40. Okay, I put it as a 40, and also I take another one as a hobby. I make it as a reading. Okay, that will be as a single quote, and then the reading, I make it as a reading. So that is all that our value. So here if you want to focus it, what exactly all variable contain? So that is actually declared one of the user details, right? So here I want to do, I don't want to display one by one. I want to make it by this object. So with this object, we can actually combine everything in one line. I show you, like here you can actually display it in different way. Like I take that late, I take one of the variable as a user, and then with one of the curly bracket, into the curly bracket, so that is it should be created one of the objects. So all that our object now I want to do, I want to pass it in here by the property. Like here I want to do, first of all I declare one of the property name. Okay, I name it as a name, and name here I want to pass that our value. I name it, like I just want to do and to add the same things. I want to pass that our value as a Aryan. So that is our first property, and then the comma, and I want to take another property. I name it as a age. Okay, so that is our age property name, and into this age area I want to make it as a 40. So that is a 40, and then the comma, and after that hobby. Okay, that is a hobby, and this for the hobby here, that is our property name as a hobby, and then here I pass on the value as a reading. Okay, so that is our value. So here I take everything in our this variable as a user variable. Okay, you can see I use that semicolon, that will be obviously as a comma. Okay, make that sure is comma. So that is our object. So now this total object value that I want to do and to display. So if you want to display it, like here I name it as a console. Okay, console, and then log, console log, and into this console log area I want to pass our this variable name as a user. I simply pass it. So now if you save it, I click as a save with all, or rather than you can also press it as the Control S. So automatically now that is saved. And now if you want to print it, like click as a refresh. So it's not showing as invalid short length property initialize. Okay, here you have to use that as a semicolon. Now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, uncatch invalid shortened property initializer. You can see I use that is equal to, that will be obviously this one. So now here I simply updated it. So now that is a property, and then that is a reading, right? Now if you click as a save all, and now I want to refresh it. Yes, now you can see it's now perfectly display our total object data of this user. So now that is a name as a Aryan, age as a 40, and then hobby also as a reading. If you click it, now you can see it's now showing as a age as a 40, hobby as a reading, and name also is display as a Aryan. And you can see that is our prototype, and prototype, that is our object prototype. Okay, so that is our total object prototype is now successfully visible. So friend, I hope you can well understand about it, how can declare the object property. So now all that our object property is visible. So here if you want to display like as a specific sum of the property, like here I am actually display all that property, right? So now if you want to display a specific sum of the property, how can do that work? I show you. Like first of all I want to display this property name, only a specific this name property name. Okay, if you want to display it, then you have to write down as a console, and then the log, and after that, that is our user, right? And after that user, if you want to display this property name, they have the two different way you can use it. So that is a two different notation. Okay, that's called that notation. So there is a one notation is the dot notation. With this dot notation you can display it. You can also display it with the bracket notation. Like first of all I want to display with the dot notation. I want to display this name. I copy it, so that is our dot, and then our name. You can see it's when you click as a dot, then automatically it will be suggested or all that property name as age property, hobby property, name property. So now I want to display our name property. So if you want to now display it here, if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's now display our this property value name as a Aryan. Okay, so that is our number 14, index.js number 14, and needs now display our value as Aryan. If you want to display the hobby, you can also display it. There is a console and then the log, and into the console log, then the user, and then our notation. I want to use it as a dot, and with this dot that will be as a hobby. Okay, that means this specific object property I want to display, that is our hobby. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's now display as a reading. So now I want to discuss about how can display this property with the bracket notation. So for doing this, that will be very easy. I simply want to do and to make it as a console, and then the log, and then the same user. So before I use that as a dot notation, and now also there is another one as a bracket notation, right? So into the bracket here you have to do into the user area. After that you have to pass, and then the square bracket. Into the square bracket in our single code, I want to display the property name. Okay, so now you can see I just simply loaded this this property name, and now that should be displayed. Click as a save all, and now refresh it. Now you can see it's now successfully displayed that Aryan. Okay, now it's successfully displayed. And also if you want to display the age, you can display the same things like that way. That is a console log, and then our user. So I use that as a user variable, and into this user variable area, after that there is square bracket. Into the square bracket single quote, I want to display now as a age property. Okay, I simply loaded that age property. Now click as a save all. Now that should be display our age value. Yeah, that is a 40. You can see age is 40. Now 40 is visible. I hope friend you will understand about it, how can display all that object data, and also how can display a specific one of the property object data, right? In our next video, I want to discuss about the JavaScript array. How can working with this, I will show you with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.